everybody, welcome to Review Time with Islip. I am Review Time. No, I am Islip. Well, I'm just gonna leave it in there. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the iGear. The iGear. I'm going to be reviewing the Impossible Toys Minicar set, all 9 of them. So you can see, I've got all 9 boxes right here, and they're all variations on the Bumblebee mold. Well, the Bumblebee-ish mold, because it's not really Bumblebee. Anyway, take a look at them one by one. We've got, to focus, Bumblebug, and for some reason on my camera it's coming out greener than it's supposed to. It's actually a yellow, and it's actually, this yellow here is not even the proper yellow. There is that, if you want to read it. Hill Jumper, which is of course Cliff Jumper. And again, if you want to read it. Goldbee, which is the second form of Bumblebee. And I've got 2 of these, by the way. There you go. And here we have Gliffer. That's supposed to be Glyph. And there you go. Fingers out of the way. Okay. Hub, which is, of course, Hubcap. Come on, focus. You're not focusing. Focus. There we go. Hub. And his bio. Okay. Bee-Bite, which is supposed to be Bug-Bite, which looks nothing like the GoBot Bug-Bite, which is where they took the name from, because Hasbro got the rights to the GoBots, but not the likenesses. So, which would have been awesome to have a little Minicar version of the original Bug-Bite. We've got Bump, which is supposed to be Bumper. Okay, and you can pause it if you want to. Tapper, which is supposed to be, I believe, Tap Out. For some reason, I see that name and I think of Kurt Angle. And then we've got Wasper, which obviously is Wasp, who becomes Waspinator. Now, for those who did not know, in the animated series, there is a green Bumblebee called a green robot that looks like Bumblebee called Wasp, who was framed by Shockwave and sent, and unfortunately by Bumblebee. Bumblebee didn't know he was putting the wrong bot up for whatever, and he goes to prison, and then he comes out and he impersonates Bumblebee, and then later on ends up being transformed into Waspinator by Black Arachnia. And yeah, so let's go on. I'll bring out the various mini cars. I've got some of them in their robot modes. I'm not going to transform them back. You can get the basic idea for all the car modes by looking here, because all the car modes are represented here. We've got the Bumblebee Goldbug VWs. We've got the Cliff Jumper Porsche Carreras. Yes, it's supposed to be, they're supposed to be Porsches, however you want to say it. They're supposed to be Porsche Carreras. Just super deformed. And then we've got the little hatchback. So let's take Bumblebee, and you can see it's the yellow is actually coming out much brighter on my my camera, than it actually is in real life. It's more of a taxi cab yellow. It's really nice. And they do not come with faction logos. I stuck them on their head. I had some World's Smallest Transformers Repro labels, and I forgot the camera is looking at me from up here. Okay. See, little Repro labels that I used on these guys. And yeah, so we got that. We've got the Cliff Jumper mold, which looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Sorry about the dusties. My area is dusty. I did dust it off, but it's still a little dusty. And they all come with rubber tires. These are rubber tires. Oops. Oh, thank God! I thought I broke it. These are rubber tires, and I just partially transformed them by accident. Rubber tires. The paint schemes are simple, but they work. I just kind of wish that the backs weren't flat gray, that the backs matched the color that the bot was supposed to be, and that the windows were a different color as well. But I think that's true to the G1. And also, I kind of wish, well, at least with Bumblebee, that they had colored in the headlights a little. I'll take care of that myself. It's not a huge thing, and the backlights too. Um, and originally, this bothered me that he had this silver piece here, but on the original version of this toy, there's a silver sticker with robotic detail on the back. So I'm actually really not upset with that now. So we've got that. We've also got the hatchback, the little, I guess it's a hatchback. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to be. But we got this body type. And let's go ahead and transform them. Which the first thing you want to do is you want to come out here and you want to, the hands, the arms, let's see, I don't know if you can see that. See that little square peg? It clips into a hole right there. So you want to unplug that. You can just swing these up and out of the way. Then come to the feet and pull all the way out. And the weapon does store inside. You can store the weapon in here. I'll do it with somebody else because it's hard to see with Bumblebee. But they each do come with a little gun, the same exact little gun, which does peg into their hands. So we'll go ahead and peg that into his hands. And if you don't want them to have the guns, you can peg it into the bottom of the other side of the hand, and it's small enough. It's small enough, and it matches the other color that when you have the bot standing, you really don't see it. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So you've got the gun, you can plug it in or not. The feet come out, and they're on slider. Actually, let's go ahead and split it. They're on, it'll be easier to see, on L slider, so you slide it over and then up. And this part gets me a little bit because sometimes there's a little more friction in there, and I don't like putting stress on that little peg there. There's like a little ball joint with a peg. And I mean, it's not, let's see if I turn it this way. Can you see it better? I don't know. There you go. It so far hasn't been stressing the whatchamacallit. It's in there pretty good. But it does make me nervous that over time it might snap. So anyway, once you've got this little piece up into the top of that L, then you just do that, and you've got a foot. So you do the same on this side, like that. And there you've got most of the bot. Make sure that this piece came all the way out. It is a waist with a crotch. So put that down here, and then let me go ahead and let's move this out of the way. Okay, stand him up. And then you just pop the head up. Oops. Pop the head up, and there you've got your Bumblebee. And it looks really nice. They gave him the G1 cartoon head instead of the head that came with it, which has the mask. But it's pretty nice. You can see. It looks okay. So we got Bumblebee in his robot mode. And it is a very posable guy. Ball jointed shoulders, ball joints at the elbow. So you've got lots of movement. The head just looks up and down. You can't go left to right, but you can if you want to. If the head is too far back for you, you can slide it up and have him with his, it actually looks better. He looks down. I don't know why you look down into his chest. He looks up. That will become more useful because everybody else is supposed to be taller than he is. And let's see, he's got a waist rotation. He's got ball jointed feet, but because of the way that they're squared off, I don't know if how well that's showing. I'll show it on a different bot. you have a hard time getting him to put his foot straight forward without it feeling like you're putting stress on that joint. And you don't really get straightforward. You get sort of slightly out to the side. Ball jointed knee, and then you've got a ball jointed ankle that swivels. So you can, if you're creative and work the joints in the feet right, you can get different poses out of him. Let's see if I can get him to stand like this. Okay, almost. There we go. So, got a sort of a walking pose. You can get them to balance fairly decently. I think I've done a review on. I did a review on one of these mini bots. I think last summer actually, when I got the gold bee. But you can see he can. His feet. The joints are pretty strong, and his feet are pretty flat. So while they don't have much of an ankle to support the weight if it was going backwards, since all the weight's in the front, it's not really a huge deal. I mean, if you try to tilt them like that, even doing that's not too bad. But if you try to go forward, back, but that's with any bot. I mean, unless his feet are like as long as the back of his heels are as long as his feet, it's gonna happen. So let's move him to the side. Let's see. So we did that. Let's go with. That's yellow and black. Let's go with this guy. Well, actually, you know what? I'll just show off the different heads since the body types are the same. This one has a gold bug head. The paintwork on the gold bug heads could have been better. There's not that much diversity. There is two colors. There is the color for the visor and the mouth plate, and the color for the rest of the head, not including this back piece. And that's a little disappointing, but it is what it is. Here we have the Cliff Jumper head on the Cliff Jumper body, which I'll bring out Cliff Jumper. Actually, let's bring out Cliff Jumper. So we've got Cliff Jumper here, or Hill Jumper, excuse me. And this is a really good, and they could have just, if they wanted to, just gone with, gotten away with putting Bumblebee's head on Cliff Jumper's body and calling it a day. Like Hasbro does that all the time. It's like, hey, we'll just color him red and leave the same, head. But they changed it. So that's pretty nice. So this actually looks great. This looks just like Cliff Jumper. We have the gold bug, which again I showed you the gold bug head, and again it's the same. It's blue head and silver visor. So, but what was I gonna show you? There was something I was gonna show you, and I can't remember what I was gonna. Oh, the guns. As you can see, you can store the gun on the back of the fist, and if you look from here, you don't really notice it. Like there's a little bit of extra piece here, but you don't really notice it. It's it's okie dokie. And here we go, so you can get a size comparison of the same bot, because I got this one last year. I'm gonna paint him like true gold instead of this. Again, this is coming out a lot lighter on my viewfinder than it is in real life. This is more of a brownish gold. Like it's not like here. It's sort of a light, almost mustard, but on the actual figure, it's a brown, a deep, almost. It's almost like chocolate. To be honest with you, it's almost like light chocolate in my hands. Let's get. And a lot of these bots, like all the hatchback bots here, have different heads. So you got Bumper here. We've got Wasp here with a completely different and weird head, but yeah. And he even has the little stripe that he had in the animated series. If I can find a picture of animated Wasp, I'll put it up. So let's go ahead and get this guy transformed real quick so you can, get... Oh, that's what I wanted to show, how to put the weapon away. I completely forgot about that. Okay. Just get him transformed real quickly. And... always that part that it just unnerves me just a little bit because it's really tight, which is good in keeping it where it's supposed to be, but it means that you're probably going to be putting a lot of stress at a point that you probably shouldn't put stress. But here we go. And as I was saying about the weapons, when you transform them into a vehicle, you can you see this. There's a recess in the leg here. When you've got this all changed up, you just put that like that, and then you slide it in, and it stays in there pretty good. It doesn't get stuck coming out or anything. So there is weapon storage in the vehicle mode. But yeah, give me a second. I'm gonna go ahead and transform all of these guys. All right, so here you can see. Let's move this over a little bit. We've got all of the bots together. We've got the different body types. We got all the cliff jumpers over here. You can see one of the cliff jumpers. I forgot what his name was. Bumper? I think that was Bumper. Has a different head than the other two cliff jumpers. We've got the Bumblebee slash Goldbug molds where they either have Goldbug's head or Bumblebee's head. And then we've got the Bumper Wasps mold. So in this set you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get 6 different faces, different types of faces, and I appreciate that. I really do. Now, the set is relatively cheap. You're paying $44 for 9 bots. And if you think about it, for a Hasbro figure of relatively the same size, you're going to be paying $10 to $12 for each one. So, altogether, let's see, if do 12 times 9, 18 carried. It's oh, I keep forgetting you can see me up there. It's going to be a lot more money. I think this set originally went for like $200 and something. Now there are 3 mini bots I didn't get, which was the black Bumblebee, the black Bumper, and the black Bumblebee, the black Hubcap, and the black Cliff Jumper. I might hunt those down just so I can have the complete set. And also, so maybe I can have more Decepticons. 'Cause this set only comes with 2 bad bot mini bots, 2 bad Decepticons, 2 Decepticons, and the rest of them are Autobots. So that's really it's off balance. It is, but you know I love the mini bots. So size comparison. Here we go with a Legends figure. Move you guys over. Bumblebee with you can see it's slightly taller than the Combiner Wars Legends figures. Put them next to a bug bot since they're bugs anyway. Yeah, you can see it's about half a head taller. Let's move you guys over. Just leave these 2 here. Let's go with a Combiner Wars Deluxe. So here we have Prowl. Let me raise the camera a bit so we can get a proper. And you can see that he is about 1 1/2 times the size of the mini bots. So the mini bots are a pretty decent size, and I think that scales well with scales well. Let's bring in the Optimus. You'll notice I have the Combiner Wars Perfect Effect upgrade set for Combiner Wars Optimus Maximus. Unfortunately, there are some issues that unfortunately make the set not quite the same value as the Menosaur version was, but here we go. And I think that's also a good scale. I think that was about the scale that G1 had with the Optimus. And I guess these would scale well with the G1 Optimus because they're about the same size as the G1 toys. And, you know, for those of you who like little humans, got Hulk, Thor, Captain America. Guys, stop laying down on the job. You're looking bad. Ironing Man, uh, Dark of the Moon, or was it Dark of the Moon? No, Revenge of the Fallen, or Dark of the Moon. I don't know. This guy. So you can see, and where is he? Go ahead and get Spike, the one that comes um, with the Optimus from Masterpiece. And I think that's a bit big, but in vehicle mode, do we have any? Okay, we do have one in vehicle mode. In vehicle mode, I think that's about correct. So, yeah. Oh, and since we've got the Masterpiece out, let's bring out a Masterpiece in case you were thinking of singing this with your Masterpiece figures, because it is, aside from the Masterpiece one and I mean, it's like a G1 update to almost Masterpiece. I don't know. To me, it's a masterpiece. Um, but you can see, uh, I don't know if that's in scale, to be honest with you. That might be in scale with the. I'll have to find a G1 clip and hopefully see if there's a good sense of scale there. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say. I love this set. It's going for $44 on. I believe it's going for $44 on Big Bad Toy Store, and it's going for the same on TF Source, I want to say. So either or, you really can't lose. These are really good. Feel these feel like updated versions of the original toy. The plastic doesn't feel cheap. It feels like an official product. It really does. It looks like it could have been an official product. The only thing that's really missing is the super, like, all of this should be hollow, because all of the stuff now is super hollow. But you know these are awesome bots. These are really, really awesome. If you like the mini bots and you like bumblebees and you just want to have a little pocket sized or true to G1 style figure, you can't go wrong with this. I'd say pick it up. I'm not a huge fan of the rest of the stuff that Impossible Toys did, like their Seekers, their triangle Seekers. I don't like them. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like them. They're, I don't know. There's something off and funky about them. But these are perfect. These are perfect little representations of a G1 classic, a G1 toy. And they've updated enough that it could definitely pass for. I mean, there's some like this should be yellow, and this should be red. I think actually the arms should be, if I wanted to go with the toy version, they'd have to be more yellow and red and whatever. But point in fact is that this is a good set. This is a very good set. I like it. Um, I'm not telling you have to buy it, but my recommendation is that if you do like the G1 mini cars, then pick them up. You're not going to be disappointed. You really are not. So that's it on my step. Thanks for watching my video. Ciao.